योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ram Surat Kumar ki Jai. Sarvam Yogi Ram Surat Kumaran Paramastu. Knowing that it is no small grace that invited us all to be here at this moment in His powerful shrine to sing His powerful name for 1 hour. We have offered the Nama lotuses with deep gratitude in celebration of this grace. We have been going through story after story of Papa Ramdas, read out to Bhagwan from time to time, which he of course relished very much, which also carried a teaching lesson for all of us. We shall see what today's story is. There was a place where there were so many people living, but they were always grumbling. No matter how many blessings they got, they would not recognize that. They would only think of something they did not get in life and start complaining. So much so, at one point, each one thought their neighbor was in a better position. He was well placed, and only they were suffering. Each one of them, without exception, had some complaint or the other about their life, despite all that God had provided. God was watching all this. He kept quiet. But then one day, the grumbling people could not bear their misery anymore. So they went to God and prayed, Bhagwan, please do something. We feel absolutely miserable. We have our own problems, but the neighbors are much better. Why would you keep us in such misery? What is it that makes them more happy than us? And on and on and on. God simply smiled and said, you people come here tomorrow. We shall see what we can do about it. So they all assembled with great eagerness, thinking that God was going to do something, that their life would become better, and they wouldn't have to grumble anymore. So when they all had gathered there, God said, you just think of any particular problem, any particular worry, any particular anxiety that you are going through about something. This must be a great burden for you. So whatever you think is a great burden of worry, you fling it here in this plane. You can label it with your name and then fling it here. Now each one had a bag to fling, and there were quite a bit of bags of complaints. It soon became a heap. God was watching all this with a smile. He said, oh, every one of you finds something lacking in life. Every one of you have some complaint or the other. And you think that your neighbors are better. That's okay. Now, he said, there is a heap here. I can give you one choice. Now out of this heap, see, even your neighbors have thrown a burden. Now you can choose any one of these burdens upon yourself. You don't want yours, but there's a heap here. You can have an exchange. Any one of the bags you can take upon yourself. What a choice. They've just flung their burden of worries, and here is God inviting them, giving them a choice to choose from the heap any one of the burdens which others have thrown. Because they were all thinking that the neighbors were living on a better level, and only they had complaints about life, that God was not being fair to them. Now you see, as soon as he said that, there was a hot pursuit, a hot haste. People nudged each other, crowding into the place, hurrying to pick up the burden of some neighbor, thinking that the burden of the neighbor would be much less for them. Soon, there was no heap at all. There was not a single bag left. And there was a feeling of satisfaction on the faces of these people, because each one thought they have unloaded their heavy burden and taken something light in exchange, which they thought was their neighbor's. And God said, okay, now you feel happy, you feel better, you can go home. And you can come tomorrow if you still have anything to say. He sent them off and retired to his abode. The next day, they all assembled. Each one find all the others there. The whole lot had returned to the place. And there was such dissatisfaction on their face, such anxiety once again. Their countenance was not at all agreeable. Now God appeared before them again, because they were all crying out to God, God, what have you done to us? And then God smiled and said, why? Why are you all so worried, so anxious? You had been relieved of your own burden, and in exchange, you had taken something better so that you didn't have to worry so much. He said, no, God, we want our own burden. We have realized all the time we were thinking that the neighbors were happy. They were enjoying the comforts of life. Only we lacked it. We felt we lacked something which the neighbors were enjoying. But now we know better after going through the burden of the neighbor as ours. We want our own burden again. So you see, the story tells us that we imagine that others are happier than us because among the heap. See, there was a poor man who took the burden of the rich man. He thought he would become rich by that. There was some man, a blind man, who took the burden of somebody who had no leg, who had lost one leg. And each one thought that was better. But then finally they found out that at least they were familiar with their own burden, and it wasn't so much as the burden of the others. A very important lesson in life, that we should never grumble about anything in life. Bhagavan used to make us sing this song, Kurai Ondrumillai Maraimurthy Kanna. I have no complaints, I have no complaints. For you are there to give me what I need. You may not cater to what my greed, but you are there to give me what I need. I have no complaints, I have no complaints. So Bhagavan used to say, contentment is the greatest wealth. Kubera had all wealth, and yet he used to complain to the Lord. But there might be some poor man who may not have next meal waiting for him, but he might still be very happy just thinking of God and accepting whatever came his way as God's prasad. We know that we have been blessed with a healthy body, that we could see very well, we could hear well, our brain is working nicely, our legs carry us wherever we want. Each one is a definite blessing. And yet, we think of something that we don't possess and complain, as though God is not merciful to us. So through this story, Papa Ramdas was teaching the devotees that you think always that you lack something and you feel very bad about it, and you think others are happier than you. But know all the blessings that you possess already and be grateful to God. And do not complain. Only when you recognize the blessings that you already have and are grateful to God for it, you will be inviting more blessings from Him, to be more and more grateful to Him. If you keep on complaining, despite all the blessings that you already have, you will be inviting once again only those negativities which would make you complain even more. We shall now offer our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Bhagavan, we beg you again and again, for that's all we can do, and we do it 1,000,000 times, for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy to the present day world, which is full of violence. There is growing enmity, there is lack of harmony everywhere, and there is lack of order, disorder. There is chaos, and there is growing enmity. And there is already the war going on with its devastating consequences. And there is again the disease, very cruel, killer diseases that attack us often unawares, in our unguarded moments. And again the violence of nature, the flash flood, forest fire, and the earthquakes and whatnot. We beg you, Bhagavan, only you can bring in, only you can change the way of the world, bring in peace, harmony, order, and growing friendship and mutual help, and the discipline. We need disciplined life. People live any way they like and create a philosophy to suit themselves. Instead, people should choose a good one and live for that sake. And Bhagavan, please stop this war and bring in peace and harmony so that there would be no talk of war at all among any countries. We also beg you to keep these diseases and the violence of nature under control. We beg you to uproot all the negativities of the human mind, the asuric thoughts that are responsible for today's world. We seek your blessings for those who are stranded in varied parts of the world for some reason or the other, going through such suffering without any help or protection, probably because of their past karmas. They may belong to different countries, speak different languages, and of different religions. They need your grace very badly, and we beg you to reach out to them. We also beg you to protect all those unselfish people who have been working hard for the welfare of the others from unhealthy, unworthy criticisms, reproaches, and aspersion. For they come as a block in their constructive ways. And Bhagavan, we beg you to give a boost to the economy of the country and promote the growth in varied fields of activity so that India would reach that high status of a world teacher in order to conduct the whole world in the path of dharma. It has been predicted so by the great ones, and we beg you that it should happen sooner than later. We beg you again and again, we pray to you in all intensity, earnestness, sincerity, for ceaseless, joyful chanting of your powerful name and unbroken remembrance of your leelas and teachings, so that all this would convert into Atma Shakti. We beg you again to bless us to be sattvic instruments in your hands and run our everyday life as an offering to you and not be tempted by the snares of Maya. We seek that ultimate state of being, the state of bliss and peace, which is yours. But then we need to be purified. We are filled with grumbling. Everybody's life. We feel that we lack something, no matter how much we possess, how much grace has flown into our, has been given to us, has been bestowed upon us by the divine. We still have something to complain about. For our mind is filled with insecurity, fear, sorrow, jealousy, anger, and passion, and growing desires for worldly possessions. These are the dirt of the mind that makes us grumble again and again, that would not allow us to feel contentment, the greatest virtue, the greatest wealth to possess. We take refuge in your powerful Nama, for you have said, Nama is the best weapon to cleanse the mind. It has the power to destroy our past sins and prevent us from further sins. And Bhagavan, wherever we live in this world, whatever work comes to our hand, we know that all this work belongs to you. The whole world, the whole cosmos belongs to you. Understanding this, we should do it as service to you, joyfully and without any unhealthy competition or jealousy, so that all this would convert into Atma Shakti. Please bless us to practice acceptance of whatever life brings to us, for they come from you, and whatever comes from you, the source, can only be a blessing. And it happens because it's necessary for our spiritual growth. If there is no sorrow in life, there is no suffering in life at all, we would never turn to God. So God very cleverly uses the law of karma. He brings in some past bad karma so that we have to go through the consequence of that. At the same time, He puts a blessing also in it. And the blessing will work for our greater good and closer kinship with God. So please bless us to see everything that happens in our life as a pure blessing from You. As we progress, please bless us to be able to see Your living, vibrant presence everywhere and in everything. And that we should also know and remember it is Your sankalpa, Your will that's behind all the happenings of life. And Bhagavan, when there is a sudden attack of some past karma, and we feel we lose the grip on life, feel so much insecure, frustrated, totally unsettled, and we collapse. We begin to blame others for our own failures. We resent You and Your grace, feeling that You have let us down, and we try to move away from You, little realizing it is our own past karma. We have invited it. We all invite our sufferings by our past karmas only. No one is responsible. I remember Bhagavan saying once, when I said to Him that I wanted to move away to another place so that people won't resort to criticisms. He said, wherever you go, Devaki, you will be taking your problems there. So you see, whatever we go through in life is what we have invited by our past karmas, and no one is responsible. God chooses the right instruments to strike us so that we go through the same experience that we gave to other people. Not even a word misses out. If there's a word of abuse, be sure it's going to come back to you one day. And if you have a word of praise for everyone, you can be sure it will come to you when you need it very badly. Bhagavan, You are so compassionate and generous that You would convert all our adversities into great blessings. For this is Your promise. Please bless us to be grateful to You, even for the adversities of life. We seek Your powerful blessings for all the species of the cosmos to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we seek that liberation from the vicious cycle of births and deaths. What is the root cause of it? The tyranny of ego, the I and mine that play havoc in our life, the utter selfishness, aham bhavam. We beg You, Bhagavan, to bless us with atma bhavam and that immortal life, that eternal living and eternal servitude to You, that eternal, supreme source of all creation. Jai Yogi Ram Surat Kumar.